What's up, guys? It's Mathilda, obviously, and you know that because you're on my channel. And today I'm going to talk a little bit about the struggles of being a transgender woman. I am trans, and there are a few struggles or problems that trans women often go through or struggle with. So that is what I'm going to talk about today. But before we get into this video, don't forget to follow me on my socials, especially Instagram, because I'm most active on my Instagram, and also fun time. And also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you want more content like this, or if you like content like this, or if you just like me, or maybe you dislike me. Just subscribe, maybe you can hate on me, or whatever. Anyways, so let's get into this video. Okay, so I have all of the notes on my phone as usual because I can't keep anything in my head. So there are 4 things that I want to talk about in this video, and the first thing is we have to be hyper feminine. And what I mean by that is when people kind of understand, or when we tell people that we are transgender, they often try to find the masculinity in ourselves. So every time I tell a person that I am transgender, or not like every time, but when I'm online and when I do these kind of videos putting it out there that I'm actually a trans woman, a lot of people are trying to find the things that are at least feminine with me. Either it's my hands or my feet or my legs or my chin or whatever. But I just wanna put it out there that I've lived as Mathilda for around 8 years, and I'm not clockable. Like, every time I walk out the door, people perceive me as a cisgender woman, and each time I tell a person that I am transgender, like, most of the reactions I get are pretty shocked. So each time person tells me like your hands or your legs or your whatever is masculine, that doesn't really get to me because I know that my body looks like a cisgender woman's body. Like, I know that I look like a cisgender woman. It doesn't really bother me that much, but it's always been something that I've had to deal with. Like, I know that a lot of trans women deal with the same thing. We have to overcompensate our masculine traits to look as feminine as possible to be considered like real girls. And that's just so irritating because every single person here on planet Earth are, they have masculine traits as well as feminine traits. Not a single person are like on either one side, but trans women are we kind of have to, by society, to be considered women. We have to be hyper feminine to not get those kind of comments. The most common thing that I get is about my hands, and I just want to let you know that it doesn't really get to me because I know that I have feminine hands. I believe that the people that are making those kind of comments haven't really met a real girl. That is what I believe. I believe that they're just sitting in their basement and watching, these kind of movies online, and they believe that that is how a real woman is supposed to look like. And I just want to tell you that they're very surgically enhanced and everything like that. So, people do not look like that. My tip for you is, if you're making those kind of comments, I truly think that you should go out. Please leave your basement once in a while, meet real life women. I really think that that would be good for you. That is my honest opinion. No, but honestly, all jokes aside, this is actually a real problem that a lot of trans women has to deal with, that we need to be hyper feminine to be considered women, and not a single person is either on one side or the other. We're all mixed, so you can't expect us to be these hyper super girls that needs to have the most luscious hair or the tiniest nose to be considered women. Oh my god, that made me actually realize something. I just want to let you know that once I received the most, this is one of the craziest comments I've ever received. It said that I don't look like a woman because my nose isn't tiny. Is this person blind? Has this person never met a single other person in their life? you need to go out more, girl. You need to leave your house. That is insane that this person actually believes that every cisgender woman has a tiny, perfect, surgically enhanced nose. Yeah, okay, let's move on. Next thing I want to talk about is comments and questions that wouldn't be said to any other person. So I actually have a video on this, I can put it here. It's called Answering Questions That You Can't Say to a Transgender Person. Because there are some or many questions that are being asked specifically to transgender people. And those kind of questions are sometimes very private and personal. Questions that wouldn't be asked to any other person. And these questions that I'm talking about could be about our intimate life or like what's between our legs and stuff like that. And I just want to let you know that if you haven't watched the video that I was referring to before, I just want to let you know that please don't go around asking transgender people these kind of questions, like very personal and intimate questions. I mean, obviously, you can ask the person that you are dating. Like if you're dating a transgender person, obviously you can ask these kind of questions because you are in a relationship with them, you are going somewhere. But if you have nothing to do with their intimate life or like what's between their legs, you wouldn't ask a random person on the bus about this, and you wouldn't appreciate it yourself if there was a man that walked up to you and he was like, what's between your legs? Like, what do you do in bed? You would be really creeped out. And that is the same thing. You can just like Google it. It isn't really important to ask that specific transgender person how the gender reassignment surgery works or how it looks like or anything like that. That is just creepy, and why are you even wondering? I can't understand. But yeah, that is another thing that trans people struggle with. So the third thing I want to talk about is the gender dysphoria. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about this. I don't want to go too deep into it. I'm just going to talk about it a little bit. So gender dysphoria is the feeling of not being matched with your biological. So you're born into the wrong body. And once you grew up, you kind of realizes that the gender that you identify with doesn't really match your biological. So you get these feelings of being born into the wrong body, just as I said, and these feelings kind of intensifies as you grew up. When you hit puberty, it is really hard to live with. My gender dysphoria was really bad. I couldn't live a normal life. I hated everything about myself. I hated how I looked. I couldn't even like shower or anything like that. I hated my body so much. And a lot of people can't handle it, so they choose another very sad path. And what we need to do to prevent cases like that, we need to talk about gender dysphoria, we need to educate people about it, help children that suffer from it, and so on. I think that we should start talking about it more. I think the more we can educate people, the more we can help the people that suffer from it. So yeah, that's what I believe. But let's move on. I don't want to talk about it too much, but gender dysphoria is really hard to live with, nearly like impossible. So the fourth thing that I want to talk about is dating, and I've actually talked about this as well here on my channel. I can link the video up there. But dating is a problem that a lot of trans women struggle with because like a lot of straight men have an issue with trans women, which I do not really understand why, but I'm not going to get too much into that either. I just wanna let you know that dating is something that a lot of trans women struggle with. This is something a lot of people take for granted. I think that most people think that dating is just meeting someone and either they will like you back or either, you know, they're not really a match and you just like move on. However, for trans people, especially like if you are passable, dating is something that can really make your stomach hurt. I mean, you meet someone and they like you back, and now you need to tell them that you are transgender, and this is something that really tears on you every time you start a new conversation with a new person. it's just this awful feeling that you have no idea how they're going to react and you have no idea how it's going to play out. Dating is something that a lot of trans women really struggle with because we have no idea, we have no clue how people will react to the news of us being transgender. So yeah, this is actually something that I'm very happy that I don't need to deal with anymore. Like, I've been in a steady relationship for the last 7 years. So yeah, I'm just happy that I don't need to deal with that anymore, because that was an awful time in my life and I'm happy that it's over. So yeah, but that was everything that I wanted to talk about in this video. 4 things that a lot of trans women struggle with and problems that we suffer from or having, I don't know. But yeah, so please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, or also hit the notification button to get future notifications whenever I post. And thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.